What excites you about the future of healthcare?
Hmm. I think that a lot has changed. I mean, you're talking, I've been doing telehealth for 12 years, right? So I get to talk to people all around the world, all different types of people, socioeconomic backgrounds, different jobs, professions, education bases. It's really cool to see the democratization, I think, of health information. And honestly, if you look at 12 years ago, I've seen the space. There was not the level of podcasts that were happening back then. There wasn't the level of YouTube stuff back then. There wasn't the level of articles, and sort of the blogosphere was very early then. So the voices have grown, and I think that more and more people are getting information that otherwise, if you think of like a couple just not that long ago, that it was like if it wasn't on the 5 o'clock news, like they really or reading the newspaper, there really wasn't going to be any information in that specific narrative, which I guess is what makes it controversial because democratization of information can be threatening to certain industries. But I think it's a good thing. Let's have an open forum of thought and ideas. And it doesn't mean that all the thoughts and ideas are going to be right for you. And they're not going to all be good ideas. But I just think that we need to be curious and be thoughtful to have agency over our health. And that's really what I want. That's what I'm excited about is just more and more people having the freedom to choose what's right for them and not being threatened again with this either or sort of duality. It should be both and. Let's pick the best of both worlds, of all worlds that work for us. And we all should be on the same team of saying like, what's going to move the needle for this person in a positive way. It should all be positive, really. So that's how I'm seeing this is like um, the 12 years ago, it was radical to say some of the things that we say now, like, right, like we would get calls from people saying like, how dare you say type 2 diabetes could be reversed? And now it's like common knowledge. You have mainstream institutes that are saying like, okay, like look at the foods you're eating to decrease the need for, to reverse type 2 diabetes in most cases. So that's just 12 years with diabetes, let alone what has to happen with autoimmunity and different brain health problems. So there's a lot of physicians that are doing really cool things. I just think more and more conversations need to happen, just like we're having right now. So that's what I'm excited about over the next 12 years or so. We can do even better.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're so right in this that, you know, 30 years ago, it was basically if you had an issue, you would go to the doctor because they're the ones that have all the knowledge. Now, I encourage patients go do the research yourself so that when you're engaged in a conversation with the doctor, you have an understanding of what's going on and you can do some self-advocacy because it's not like you're going, as you mentioned earlier, you're not going to the all-knowing, all-powerful deity person that's got everything, all the answers to everything. But
Mm-hmm.
when you do your own research, you come up with some answers. Listen, our last question is this: what is one thing medical professionals can start doing today to improve the quality of healthcare?
Talk about food, which comes to mind. There's a lot of things. I think bringing the care and the health back in, this is part of it. Talk about food. Every food we eat either feeds inflammation or fights it. There's no Switzerland meal. There's no neutral food that's like doing nothing for your physiology. And when you look at the top health problems in our society today, you look at type 2 diabetes and that whole spectrum, metabolic syndrome, and the problems that aggravates, right? It doubles your risk for heart attack and stroke. It does a lot of other things too, right? So metabolic syndrome, you talk about heart attack and stroke, you look at many types of cancers, you look at autoimmune conditions and brain health problems. You think of all the millions and millions of people that have that. Food is a massive modulator and an improver, at least, the very least, a piece of the puzzle. At the most, it is the difference between life or death for people. So if you can't have a conversation about food when we know food is such a massive part of lifestyle metabolic problems, inflammatory problems, like you can't even get somebody healthy without talking about food. So that is, and I'm not saying you have to be an expert at it. That's what we're here for in functional medicine, but at least open up the eyes of your patient a little bit and say, hey, look into this. Like you said, like, hey, look into this. Maybe there's a book. Like, check this book out. I don't know that much about it. Like, check this book out. Read it up. Read it, because I've been hearing good things about it. That's the amount of people that I've seen be benefited from just that little advice from someone that they respect, a physician that they respect or look up to. It's powerful, and you don't have to have all the answers. You just need to point them in the right direction.
I think that's really an interesting way to close up our conversation, to remind medical professionals you don't have to have all of the answers. It's okay to refer. It's okay
Yeah.
to share. It's okay to make the connections for the patients, because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's ultimately not about your ego and saying like I am the repository of all information on this particular
Yeah.
topic. It's
Yeah.
about what do we do that works best for the patient to get them where they need to be, so that and I think this goes back to what you said at the beginning. We're not looking to get people back to just being normal. You're looking to get people living their optimal life, which is phenomenal. Listen,
Mm-hmm.